I do my morning reading in the Bible. I ask the Lord to always give me a fresh understanding. And so, what's so perfect about today is yesterday in service, we had a visiting pastor, and he said, if someone who is a Christian tells you that the Christian life is a walk in the park or that it's easy, they're lying. And we were just all cheerful. We were like, yes, like we were clapping our hands, and we just all knew. We all knew. And that just really said something about the life of a Christian person. Like, there's nothing easy about it at all. We're going to always have trials. We're going to always have tribulations. We're going to always have spiritual warfare. There's nothing easy about it, because you have to just always imagine and remember the life that Christ walked. You know, we are to be an imitation of him, and we know that he did not have an easy life. So when we realize that, it allows us to peacefully get through it because we have him. But I'm going to read this part in the Bible. This actually is my reading for today, and I just thought it lined up so perfectly about what that pastor had said yesterday. Like, you're lying if you say that being a Christian is a walk in the park. There's literally nothing easy about it, especially when you're holding up your cross and you are just walking in alignment with God. Like, the devil is always after you. And there was another sermon that we had that said, if you're not being attacked by the devil, and if constant spiritual warfare and things aren't after you, then you're probably not in alignment with God, because the devil isn't after people who just aren't doing anything. He's after the people who love God and who's in a relationship with Jesus. That's the people that he's after. So if you're being attacked, it's probably a good thing, because the devil sees your potential. And just know that you being attacked isn't a bad thing. And so I'm going to read the story about Joseph. And we all know Joseph. He is highly favored by the Lord, and he is, loved by God, and he is with him, and he is for him. And just like us, God is with us and he is for us, and we're in this collaboration. And so Joseph, I'm going to read it. It says, now Joseph was a well-built and handsome. After some time, his master's wife looked longingly at Joseph and said, sleep with me. He's just doing good. God is blessing him. Even the Egyptian household that he's living in is blessing him. But the devil, still after him, going to sneak in there and try to send the master's wife over to him. And Joseph knows this is sin. He says, but he refused. Look, he said to his master's wife, with me here, my master does not concern himself with anything in this household, and he has put all that he owns under my authority. So Joseph is well aware and known that God is blessing him and this Egyptian family who has put everything under his authority. And the devil sees that. And the devil will see that about you. Like, he will see that you're being blessed and highly favored by the Lord, and will try to sneak in, and either it be spiritual warfare, or he will just try to block your blessings. He will try to give you reasons to slip back into the darkness and sin. And that's what Joseph went through. And it says, no one in this house is greater than I am. He has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. So how could I do this immense evil? How could I sin against God? Although she spoke to Joseph day after day, he refused to get into bed with her. That's the life of a Christian. Like, day after day, we will have constant attacks. We will have these trials. We will have circumstances. We will have so much going on, okay? But like Joseph, we have to stand our ground, to stay firm in the faith and stick to the commandments of God, and to not sin against him. Like, he was doing so well, but we doing so well, and the evil will try to come back for us all the time. But we have to stand ground like Joseph. But just because we stand strong doesn't mean that something bad isn't going to happen, okay? We just have to keep pushing through it and working through, and keep persevering, keep moving past it, keep turning the other cheek, keep having our faith in what God has said and what God has promised us. And that's what Joseph continued to do. He says she kept talking to him day after day. Now, one day he went into the house to do his work, and none of the household servants were there. So this lady, the evil one, she grabbed him by his garment and said, sleep with me. But leaving his garment in her hand, he escaped and ran out of the house. Like, he's just like, I'm trying to get out of here. I'm not trying to do this. Like, as a Christian, it feels like that sometimes. Like, There's people that just be like, I need to get out of here. You are testing me. Like, I don't want to do this with you. Like, I'm trying to stay in alignment with God. And you will come across that a lot in your Christian walk. So especially if you're in the beginning, you're just like, this is not what I thought it would be. That's a good thing. You should be struggling a little bit. You should be having, the enemy coming against you. You should be going through these things. This is normal. This is what it's like to be a Christian. It was never promised to be easy, but what it is that you're going to have a relationship and you have Jesus with you who's going to get you through every single thing. And that's what continued to happen for Joseph. He says when he saw that he had left his garment with her and ran outside, she called her household servants. Look, she said to them, my husband brought a Hebrew man to fool us. He came to us so he could sleep with me. And I screamed so loud as I could. When he heard me screaming for help, he left his garment beside me and ran outside. Like, sometimes it's just going to happen as a Christian. People are going to lie about you. They're going to persecute you. Like, this stuff will happen. They will condemn you about things from your past. Like, this stuff will happen. It happened long ago. This lady created an entire lie about Joseph just because she just because she was upset, basically, because he wouldn't sleep with her. So she got a little butt hurt, and she didn't like that. So she created a whole story that threw him into prison, because obviously she's the wife of his master. And whose side does he take? He takes her side, although Joseph is completely innocent. Are you walking? Are you innocent? Are things coming up against you? It's okay, because as this happens, Joseph is then thrown into prison. And guess what happens when Joseph goes into prison? He was wrongfully accused, but God was with him. And even while he was in prison, God blessed him. And he had authority over all the prisoners in there. God was still with him because God knew what was the truth and he knew what was right. And God knows the truth about you. So you may be struggling today and moving forward, but that's not a bad thing. Keep persevering. Keep putting your faith and trust in the Lord. Joseph, that's all he had was the Lord. And he knew, but he's seen God was for him. And God is going to show up and he's going to keep those promises. All you have to do is believe and know the fact that the Christian walk is not easy, but the result in the end destiny is eternal life. That's what's beautiful about it. We get up every single day knowing that we have this relationship. We're in the presence of the Lord. And the bigger picture is we have life and eternity with our Father. That's something to remember today. May peace be with you, brothers and sisters.